Okay, we will be recording this event and it will be posted on the Feed U website for anyone who was not able to join us but would like to follow the video at a later date. So if you have issues with being on the recording or whatnot, feel free to turn off your video. However, we do have some raffle prizes that we will be giving out during the Zoom cooking hour. So you can be entered into the Zoom, or excuse me, into the raffle prize by either turning on your video, or you can get a second entry to the raffle prize by asking a question in the chat or while your video's on. So the two prizes, the first prize is a new slow cooker and some like soup recipes or soup packages to cook in the slow cooker. And then the second prize is a cookie kit, which includes a brand new cookie sheet and some measuring cups and spatulas and cookie mixes. So I will be keeping track of if your video's on or if you ask a question or make a comment or participate in the discussion. And then I will put all of the names into an Excel spreadsheet and run a random number generator at the very end, and I will announce who won at the end. So with that, our agenda that we have for the next hour or so, I will pass it over to Alex. He'll talk about the sustainability board, and he'll kind of give us the rundown of the recipe. And then we are going to break into breakout groups between Quinn and Alex, and we'll actually make it, and feel free to ask any questions or discuss anything about hummus. Something I really like about this recipe is you don't need necessarily all of the ingredients that we had in the kit to make it. You really just need like the chickpeas to get started. So you can also kind of vary what you put in there. So if you don't have all the exact same recipe or same ingredients, totally fine. Anything that I missed, Alex? Feel good?
Yeah, no, that was great, Jessica. Yeah, I'm stoked to see so many faces. I think this is such a cool event. And it's a cool way to virtually kind of have some sense of community within the U. I think the farmers market was really one of those events that was so awesome at the U. Like you could really feel the campus community coming together. But nonetheless, so my name's Alex. I'm the director of the ASUU Sustainability Board. ASUU is the student government at the University of Utah, and I like to think the Sustainability Board is kind of like the environmental conscious of our student government. We try to do a lot of different things. We do things like passing student legislation, but a lot of what we do is really project-based. We try to be in some of the higher level conversations at the university, a lot of it with the sustainability office, and then plenty of other faculty members as well. Then we also try to really focus on some of those person-to-person connections, especially now when it's kind of isolating and a lot of things are virtual. We think it's important to keep kind of trying to prioritize these community events and like passing on the word about sustainability and just coming together as a campus. So in terms of the recipe, I chose making our own hummus because frankly, I just love hummus. I think it's a great snack. Make like flatbreads for lunch all the time. Yeah, thank you, Jessica, for throwing in the ingredients there. It's a really simple recipe. In terms of Shalina, I believe you had a question. So I think in terms of peeling the chickpeas, we can certainly try. I know peeling the shells of the chickpeas, I think, is significantly easier if you saute them, which like we're welcome to do. I'm totally happy to ad-lib and like go for it. But nonetheless, we can try it if we want. If we don't want to, all good. I'll leave it up to everyone. But yeah, so it's a pretty simple recipe. So we have our ingredients here. I think basically just going to throw them all in a blender. If you don't have a blender, you can use a microwave, kind of soften the chickpeas, and then use a fork or a whisk and kind of just mix everything up to the best you can. If you don't have a microwave either, I think sauteing will work just fine as well, or even an oven. I think we really just want to kind of soften the chickpeas with heat. But yeah, that's kind of it. We're going to see how it goes. I think with blending everything, it's important. I believe there's a reminder somewhere in the chat, but to put the heavy items in first, it's definitely a mistake I make all the time. And I end up having to pour out half the stuff I blended and then pouring it back in. So I think that'll be something to remember. But I'm stoked to talk to everyone, just have a really relaxed conversation that's just not all about school right now. Just talk a little bit about sustainability and just what we all have going on in our lives. So yeah, I guess we're all set for the breakout sessions, if that works.
Awesome. I just need 1 minute to put us all into groups. Quinn, do you want to introduce yourself as one of the breakout leaders?
Yeah, so hi everybody, I'm Quinn. I'm one of the garden stewards that works as an intern for the sustainability office. And so my involvement on campus is mainly just taking care of the edible campus gardens and growing various different fruits and vegetables. Just looking at some of the ingredients we have right here, we grow some of the stuff that we'll be using tonight. So cucumbers and garlic are two of the things that we grow at the gardens. And we also just grow various other things that you can add to hummus. We're growing chard and Swiss chard right now, which is a leafy green. And I made hummus with that probably about a month ago. And it was really awesome. And so we should have more chard at the next produce pickup at the Union on Monday. So if y'all want to add some Swiss chard to your hummus, you can pick some of that up at the Union.
Awesome. Thanks, Quinn. I think I have all of our groups set. So I will send you guys off and I will bounce in between just to make sure nobody joins us late and gets stuck in the main room. So I'll see you soon.
Eastern dip, largely just made out of crushed chickpeas. It's I guess a dip might not be the right word for it, but it's basically mashed chickpeas. Tahini is, which is I think it's concentrated or blended sesame seeds, gives it a lot of its flavor. So that's kind of one of the crux ingredients I think here. It's by no means required, but then so it's something often. I think it's a good snack food. It's something like dipping in cucumbers, tomatoes, like flatbread. You can use it as like a salad dressing too sometimes. Like it's thick, but I like to use it as a salad dressing as well sometimes.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, so in terms of just, I think one thing to remember as we're cooking is we're gonna wanna save like a little bit of our chickpea, like water or juice. I think it's just a quarter of a can if I'm remembering correctly, or a quarter of the liquid. It is, okay.
Quarter cup.
Quarter cup, perfect. So that's definitely something I'm gonna try not to forget. Oh, I'll just spill a little, but. So what are most of you planning on doing? Are you planning on blending, mashing with a fork? What's your game plan?
I'm gonna microwave and then mash with a fork.
Yeah, me too. Microwave and then mash.
If you do that, it like if instead of actually peeling, it kind of comes off as you start mashing with a fork.
Oh, I see. Good to know.
If you microwave it, like you can kind of just without having to peel each individual one. It seems to just like they come up to the surface as you're mashing.
Perfect.
That's really smart. I'm going to try and blend them, but I don't have like a regular blender. It's like one of these like NutriBullet ones. So we'll see if that works. My chickpeas also came in a box, bought boxed chickpeas, which I've never seen before, so I wanted to try it. But I noticed it's
They're
only
so
like half the
cute.
amount in a can, so we're gonna just make less hummus, I guess.
That looks awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to blend, but my blender, it's one of those magic bullets and it's really small. So
Yeah.
we're just see how that goes.
Yes.
I didn't even know I had a blender till last night. Never really did.
There you go.
All right, I'm gonna go check on our other group. I'll be back.
Perfect. Sounds good.
How's everyone doing in this group?
I think everybody's doing good so far.
We blending or are we microwaving?
I am blending.
I have a blender, but it's like one of those magic bullet ones that, so I don't know how it's gonna work, but we're gonna try it.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I got a NutriBullet little thing.
Nice, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm using this I have one of the stick blender things, and it comes with like an attachment that's like a plastic container, and then the blade. It's kind of an interesting contraption, and I didn't think it was going to work very well, but it worked.
Nice. Oh wow, you're already done. I haven't even opened my chickpeas yet.
Quinn, I work at a restaurant and they have one of those, but it's like this big. It's just huge, and they just stick it in these big bowls and like blend everything up.
Nice.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a really dangerous kitchen appliance though, because like when I have the regular stick blender attachment to it, it's like just a stick with a blade on the end of it. I don't know. It doesn't seem particularly safe, but it's useful.
Mine has like a cover, like a safety thing around it, but it like will shoot things up still at me.
Oh yeah.
Like when you're doing like hot like tomato sauce, or like I use it for my hot sauce and stuff. I'm sure you do too. It's like, oh, don't get in my eyes.
Yeah, I was making pizza sauce, and so like I sauteed a bunch of onions and garlic before I put all the tomato sauce in. So then I wanted to blend it up so it was smooth, and it ended up just getting pizza sauce all over my kitchen, like on the ceiling, on the floor, like on all the walls.
Did you guys use all of the juice in your can, or did you use none of it, or like part of it?
The chickpeas.
Yeah.
I ended up using all of it just because it was more convenient. But I think
the other group
the recipe called for like 1/4 cup, I think, and I think mine probably ended up being about 1/4 cup.
That sounds good. I was telling the other group I found chickpeas in a box, which I wanted to try, but it's like way less than in a can. So we're just gonna try with the ratios and see if it works. It'll just be like extra lemony or something, which I'm sure would be good.
So once everybody has their stuff blended up, then you can start doing the fun part and adding whatever other ingredients you want. So I'm going to put my entire lemon in because I like very lemony hummus. And I'll probably put in 2 or 3, maybe even 4 cloves of garlic, and a ton of olive oil as well. If you want to get really fancy, you could saute your garlic in olive oil for a little bit. You can get it a little crispy. That would be a nice touch as well.
So you don't put like your lemon and stuff in before blending the chickpeas? You put the chickpeas in first?
I just didn't want to overload the blender.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't blow anything up before.
Okay. I'm going to go blend and I'll be back.
Okay. Has anybody been to more than one Zoom cooking hour? I know, Claudia, you have. You were at the first one. but I didn't make it to the second one.
Yeah, I also went to the first one, but I couldn't do it.
Awesome. Has anybody, so for everybody who's the first one, the fermentation one, how did your ferments turn out? Your sauerkraut and your hot sauce?
So good. I already made a second batch or am making second batch of sauerkraut for my mom for Thanksgiving.
Awesome. Yeah, I think
good.
I was really happy with my sauerkraut, and I've just been putting it on like literally everything.
Yeah, my sauerkraut turned out, but my hot sauce ended up molding while I was fermenting it, so I threw that away.
Yeah. I find the hot sauce, like when I've done hot sauce before that way, it molds a lot easier than like anything else that I fermented, and I'm not really sure why. I think it might be because I like stir it a lot, so I'm letting in a lot more air, but I don't know. I've not really found a way to remedy that problem.
Is anyone sauteing their garlic? Because, like, I kind of want to, but I feel like I'm not fancy enough. Like, what does it do? Does it just make
I think it makes it crispy and taste a little bit better. I'm in my backyard right now, so I would be sauteing it, but I don't want to have to go inside. But if you can do it, I think you should definitely do it.
Bet. Okay. Solid.
Yeah, totally. And that'd probably make it easier to deal with when you're blending, is just cook it when it's in cloves and then toss it in whole. Since you'll be blending it anyways, there's not really any concern of like worrying about it not chopping up in the blender or anything, I'd say.
You know, college is a real struggle when this is the biggest knife that you have. I own like 2 knives, and this is the best of them.
Yeah, I have a really random assortment of knives. I have like a bread knife, one really big knife, and one small knife, but like no in between.
I went on a KSL a while ago and found somebody selling like all these antique knives for like $3 each. And just like went and got them sharpened, and they are fantastic. Yeah.
Stop, I need that.
Yeah, that looks like a sweet knife. I've always wanted like a really nice chef's knife. I feel like I'd feel much more official when I'm cooking.
Okay, I need everyone's opinion. Do I like dice the garlic before I put it in to like saute it, or do I just like crush it? What's the opinion here?
I think I personally would probably just put like, I don't know, cut it into pretty big pieces. I don't know if I'd take the time to like dice it because you're going to blend it anyways. But that's just my opinion. You would have like more surface area if you diced it. So maybe you get more like of that like caramelized onion then. I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong though with the garlic.
Solid.
Another thing, which unfortunately wasn't included in the kit, but adding a little bit of salt will help the flavor of your hummus and kind of help bring out all the individual flavors that you're bringing in. So if you're doing garlic or olive oil or lemon or anything like that. So if you have salt, I would definitely add it, because I don't think the chickpeas have salt. They have a little bit, and the tahini doesn't have any salt either. So just a little tip, if you've got salt.
I'm gonna go check on our other group, but I'll be back sometime soon.
Dragging on
Quickly.
Chartwells.
Yeah, we were talking about Chartwells a little bit. Wondering if you like. I think it tastes very fresh. But yeah, I'm realizing on mine, I just added a little bit more lemon, just like personal preference, and now I'll probably add a little bit more salt and pepper too. But the blender made things really fast, honestly, and I'm pretty happy with how it ended up turning out. It tastes really good.
How much lemon did you guys add? Did you add the whole lemon or like half?
I ended up doing whole lemons.
Okay,
I did
I'm
too.
going for it.
Yeah.
So I did both halves of the lemon, and I got 3 tablespoons.
Oh, okay. I
Oh,
was not
good to know.
measuring. I was just winging it.
But I was also using like a juicer,
Okay.
not just my hand. So
Okay.
Gotcha.
Thank you for that.
That is definitely helpful.
So did you guys already add tahini too? Yes.
Yep, added the
yeah,
zucchini.
I'm just kind of putting everything in.
Okay. All right.
Just kind of going for it.
I just dropped a bean.
That was my first time using tahini. I didn't really know what I expected, but it was a little more like watery than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I've
What
never.
exactly is it?
Oh yeah, the bit with tahini is that usually you don't refrigerate it before you use it. And when you use it, the brand that I like to use, you can get from Walmart for like $3, and it's in a bottle, and you just shake it up, and it fixes the texture right up for you.
Oh,
There you go.
I think you have to proper spoon it out.
Okay.
That's good to know, because mine was definitely separated. So I definitely made that mistake.
Oh yeah. Making tahini is super hard too. When I first made hummus, I tried to make tahini myself, and it did not turn out well.
Oh, wow.
How did you blend the sesame seeds, or did you like press them?
Oh, I blended them, but I think they were the wrong sort because they have to be like the shelled sort. For some reason, there are shelled and unshelled sesame seeds, which I think is just ridiculous.
No, that's crazy. I don't
But
even know what a shelled seed would look like.
Just a little bit browner than a normal seed, honestly.
Gotcha. Sorry, but go ahead.
Kind of worked.
Well, that was it.
Sounds good.
How much?
Yeah, recently.
I added a little bit of Cajun seasoning to mine.
Oh, there you
Because it was
go.
kind of like bland. I don't know. Seemed to work.
Okay.
I might try that. Yeah.
Tony Saserays or whatever.
Yeah, I think I have some of that right over the stove. Yeah, that's a classic. It's a staple.
Yeah, it's a staple. Just a little bit of that in it.
Yeah, this seems really hard to mix when the jar is so full. For the tahini, I tried shaking it, but it didn't really. I don't think there's enough space in the jar.
Yeah, it's pretty thick too, like towards the bottom.
Yeah. We're just gonna.
But I've heard it's kind of a make or break ingredient with hummus, I guess. So I've heard it really takes it up a notch.
All right.
So, cool.
I have never made homemade hummus before.
Yeah, I've only done
I
it.
gotta go buy some. I gotta go buy some at the store and see if mine tastes anything like it.
Yeah.
There you go. Do a comparison.
Yeah. Because this could taste like absolute garbage right now, and I wouldn't know because I've never.
You never had hummus?
No.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad that you're here. It's pretty
What
fun.
movie is it that? What Adam Sandler movie is it that they're always eating hummus? Nobody? I don't remember either.
I am a person, when I go to the grocery store, I always buy like 2 or 3 things of hummus without checking if I have any at home first. But it's just like I eat a lot of hummus, so I'm like, I'll probably eat this, but it's probably the thing that I waste like the most of, and I'm very embarrassed by that because I always am buying hummus and I can't keep up with it.
I really like the hummus that they make at Harmon's, like the chili one, chili lime.
Oh, I don't think I've had that.
So is there like different flavors?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of different flavors.
There's a
like,
ton, yeah.
I shop at Trader Joe's occasionally, and they have a dill pickle one that I love. It is
So this is just like regular hummus.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So it's meant to be like a little bland, I would say. It's just how it is.
I just tried mine and it's delicious.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed
Yeah.
with how these turned out. They're pretty great.
I'm gonna go blend mine again.
Anything to compare it to because I've never had hummus, but
No, we're glad you're here. And it's kind of like ignorance is bliss, right? Like you don't know if it's great or bad, and that could be for the better.
Right.
Yeah, so I think the raffle is pretty awesome too, especially with only a handful of people. I mean, the chances are pretty good. Probably the best they're in. Better than most raffles.
Have you ever cooked with an Instant Pot?
Yeah, so I actually do all the time.
Like this? I cooked like a pork roast. I was pretty impressed at how it, like 45 minutes and it was golden.
Nope. No, it's pretty impressive, honestly. Yeah, it's cool how it like regulates itself too. But yeah, I like using some of the slow cookers, especially with like classes and stuff. Like set it up in the morning, and then like come back in the evening, and then it's all set. And you're like coming into a house that's super full of food. It's pretty cool, or smelling like food.
This is really yummy. I was not expecting a whole lot, and my expectations are surpassed.
That's awesome.
It's good.
Yeah, honestly, this has beat my expectations too. Did any of you try removing the shells? You did? How did it do with the texture?
I got out some because like I just did it with the microwave and the fork, and it did bring them up to the surface like that. I've already forgot his name. He's left us. But I think it's definitely a little bit smoother.
Good to know. That's a good trick.
Yeah, last time I made hummus, I used a different recipe and I used water instead of the garbanzo bean stuff, but it's definitely smoother with the garbanzo bean liquid. And honestly, the texture on this looks really, really good. Like, she's beautiful.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah.
Makes the good sound too.
I added a little bit of rosemary in mine, and it's like pretty good.
Good to know.
What did you
I might
put
try
in
that.
yours?
Rosemary.
I
I'm
love
gonna try that
rosemary.
right now, I think.
Yeah, I just had like some old rosemary leaves from my old garden, still in my pantry.
There you go. Yeah.
My computer died.
Oh, you're good. You're back. No worries. No worries.
So what else have you cooked in the Instant Pot?
So honestly, as lame as it sounds, I think it's pretty sweet at cooking rice. I cook a lot of rice in it. Yeah. It's like
spaghetti. It was all right.
I don't think I've done spaghetti. I bet it's pretty good with that too, but it's just it hits the mark every time, and it's like so low effort. which is sweet. But
I was impressed by how good the roast was. It was literally like I cooked it in a crock pot for 6 hours, and it only took like 45 minutes.
Right.
And like chicken tortilla soup's really good.
Yeah, I've done some soups and some stews that are really good.
Except don't ever overfill it with the liquid. Nobody told me that, and I undid the steamer, and I mean, like, it was like a geyser, like, hit my ceiling in my kitchen, like, and I just couldn't shut it off. I mean, it was everywhere.
It's funny you say that. I've done the same exact thing with lentils, and like it was just like lentil paste like spraying everywhere. It was awful, but
yeah, because it says open the steamer. It doesn't tell you it's going to spout everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey,
Hello,
Jess.
everyone. How's the hummus coming?
I think everybody's doing good. I have started consuming my hummus already. I'm almost done with my cucumber.
Nice. Nice. Mine is really good. I don't think I put like enough salt in there. I really like salt. So I feel like I just sprinkled a bunch on top and it's still really tasty. Did anyone add any like unique ingredients to theirs? Rebecca, how was your sauteed garlic?
My sauteed garlic came out immaculate. The cayenne pepper was the perfect add. And McKenna, thank you so much. Those red pepper chili flakes were amazing. My roommate can attest.
It was really good.
We tried it. It was A+, a little bit spicy, little kick at the end, but overall, just delicious.
Those are awesome additions. I'm glad that you tried those.
Do we get a prize for having like the prettiest hummus plate? Because we're trying to plate this up like really nice.
We'll see.
I didn't even think to try and organize mine. I've just been eating mine straight out of my blender.
Yeah, out of the butcher.
Has anybody been doing anything fun to enjoy our fall weather that we've been having recently? I'm like really glad that we're finally not in a period of time when it's hot every day and I can actually like be outside all the time.
I agree with you. I did a 50-mile bike ride last week, which is the furthest I've ever like ridden on a bike before, but I'm going to try to do a 100-mile bike ride this winter while we're like all remote. Is something to like look forward to. So I'll have to drive someplace warm to do it probably though.
That's awesome. I did Antelope Island over the summer.
Yeah.
Which I think like round trip is only like if you start from the entrance and bike in, and then I did like a little hike. I think it was like 25 miles round trip, but
nice.
It was really fun. And it's like, it reminds me of running cross country when I was in high school, where like you get to a point where you like don't even really realize that you're biking that hard and you're just kind of cruising along.
Yeah, I've done that same trip or pretty similar, and it's like so gorgeous out there. But you have to watch for like when there's gnats, because if you go out there and there's gnats, they're like all stuck to your sweaty face and it's gross.
And when I did it, so like, you know, when you first get to the island and the road splits off, there was like 5 bison right at the fork. And so the friend I was with, we stopped and we were like just looking at the bison. Of course we were on bikes and everybody else was in cars. And then 2 of them just started like wandering closer and closer to us. And we realized that they were probably like curious about us. So they were getting really close, but they cut off our way to go down one of the roads. So we were like, oh, what are we going to do? Like if they start charging, there's nothing we can do because we're on bikes. So we had to like hike through the bushes with our bikes and just like in this huge long loop to avoid the bison.
Oh no. It's probably a good animal to watch out for.
yeah, I don't think I would really want to run into one of those if it wasn't happy. Did anybody see the video of the guy, I think it was in a canyon called Slate Canyon, that ran into the cougar recently?
Oh yeah, I saw that video. That is so terrifying because like I've been hiking up there before and so I'm like, oh my gosh, and I like don't want to go hiking alone. I don't know. It's just scary.
Well, also if you saw, he kind of like provoked it. Not gonna lie, because he went up. He was trying to take like pictures of the cubs. And he went super close to the cubs. I was like, man, you're kind of asking for it right now. Like, if I saw a little cub in the middle of a hiking trail, I would like run the other way.
Yeah, I was actually surprised because he like had pretty good etiquette following that, because like he didn't just turn around and run away, and he like was throwing rocks and stuff, which I think is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like national news. I think I saw it on like CNN, which is kind of crazy.
You know, I saw the same thing where you kind of like approached the cubs, which is like, so the cougar was just like pissed off because normally like stay up.
All right, I'm gonna go back to the main group and I'm going to call us all back together at 6:50.
Cool.
Asian seasoning in mine.
Oh, that sounds really good. Sounds really good. All right, you guys. Well, I thought that I would promote our next Zoom cooking hour, which is next week already. I'm going to open the reservation for the ingredient kits tonight. Next week will be hosted by the Blink Board, and they are doing enchiladas. It should be really tasty. Thursday night again at 6 p.m. And then we have one more event, our last event then on November 5th, I believe, with Slow Food, which Mary Jo was on here. Oh, she is still. She's hosting, and she is doing burrito bowls, which should also be very delicious. So thank you all for joining. It was really fun. Almost everyone was participating. It was awesome. So thank you for joining us and making hummus. And then I did do our random number generator. So our first prize goes to number 8, which is the slow cooker and the soup mixes, and that was Rebecca Hoyt.
No way! Okay, I am blown away. I was crossing my fingers. I would just like to take this moment. I'm sorry this is like so egotistical of me, but like my roommate and I just made this fabulous plate of hummus, and I just like to show everyone.
That looks really beautiful.
Amazing.
Worthy. So we just snapped some pics. Wow. Thank you guys so much for hosting this, by the way. This has been super fun.
Absolutely. Our second prize then was the cookie kit, and I pulled out number 4, which was choice.
All right.
Make some cookies.
Baking's my specialty, you know.
Awesome. Will you both please send me your emails in the chat, and I'll send you an email then. You should be able to pick up your prizes starting tomorrow morning when the Feed U Pantry opens. You can just pick it up there, probably for like the next week or so, though, if you're not already heading to campus. So.
Awesome. And I sent you a recipe for the buttermilk pie, so you should send that out to everybody.
Oh, definitely will. Cool.
It's
awesome.
Amazingly easy Thanksgiving, but thank you to win the cookie sheet. I appreciate that.
Yes, of course.
Awesome.
It was Choice's first time ever eating hummus tonight. Was it anybody else's first time ever trying hummus?
Well, let's hope. I have to go buy some now so I can compare it.
Yes. Well, if yours tastes like mine, it's probably pretty good. Alex, do you have anything else to add? Thank you so much for hosting. You are a great host.
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming. Honestly, this was great. It was great just to talk to everyone. Like, remember that we are surrounded by like members of our U community. And honestly, the hummus turned out pretty well. I agree. I was pretty impressed with how good it was. So I'll definitely be using this recipe in the future. It wasn't too hard either, just throwing it in a blender. So yeah, I guess shameless plug, if you're interested in joining the ASU Sustainability Board, applications are rolling and they're just on Campus Connect. So if that's something you're interested in, just look it up on Campus Connect. And if you apply, there's a very good chance you'll be on the board. I'll just say you're going to be on the board if you apply. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, totally reach out.
Awesome. And thank you, Quinn, too, for helping us co-host. It was fun to have you.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, and thanks everybody for joining us.
All right, with that, I think it will log off. Choice, will you send me your email address still?
I think I just emailed you.
Oh yeah, it does. I'm sorry. Got it. Cool.
I just emailed your recipe, so that's my email address.
Perfect. Cool.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you hopefully at another Zoom cooking hour.